welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we have a special guest. We have Wei. Today, Wei and I are going to do something really fun. We are going to transform Wei and I into this character right here. We are also going to replicate Watson as girls just wanna have fun. Just for the vibe of CNY. If you want to see how we got this look, just keep on watching. So let's do it!
So starting off, I'm going to use the Chanel primer and apply this all across her face as a base. Then I'm going to use Maybelline Bb cushion and apply this all over her face with the cushion puff. I use the lightest shade. As you can see, she has a fair skin compared to my hand. Next thing is concealer. I'm using Maybelline Age Rewind. I'm applying this onto her dark circles and also onto some of her spots area. Then I'm gonna continue to blend it with the cushion puff. Next, I'm using Laura Mercier translucent powder to set her cushion foundation in place. For brow, I'm using Maybelline brow pencil. I'm going to create hair-like stroke in the front and fill up the rest of her brows. Next step, I'm using Bobbi Brown bronzer and apply this all over her lid as a transition shade. Next, using the Balm palette in the shade Bold and apply this all over her crease area. Then using Brazen to apply onto her lid. Then using Build to apply onto the center. Now I'm using Maybelline pencil liner and apply this onto her waterline. Then I'm using Maybelline gel liner to elongate her eyes. Then I'm going to do a slight flick to make her eyes appear more bigger. Then I'm going back to the eyes and using the shade Bold and apply onto the lower lash line. Then I'm going to darken it up with the shade Brazen. Then using a blending brush to blend. Now I'm curling her lashes and she seems very calm. Then using Maybelline waterproof mascara to curl her lashes. Next, I'm using Falsies from Lash Bar in the code MK01. Going back to my Bobbi Brown bronzer and applying this onto the hollows of her cheeks. I'm also going to define her nose to make her nose appear more taller. For blusher, I'm going to use Maybelline Fit Me Blush in the shade Rose. Now I'm going to use Mary Luminizer to highlight the highest points of her face. Woo! I'm also going to highlight her bridge, the tip of her nose, and also her cupid's bow. Then going back to her eyes, I'm going to apply a tiny bit onto her inner corners and also apply onto her brow bone. Finally, I'm going to use this lip combo from Bobbi Brown and Fenty Beauty. As for Fenty Beauty, I'm using the shade Up to No Good. And to replicate, I'm using that brown gloss in the shade Cocoa Sugar. Now move on to the next look. I'm using Aprilskin Cushion Foundation in the darkest shade because I have a darker skin tone. I'm also going to blend it out with the cushion puff. To conceal, I'm using the same concealer, Age Rewind, and to apply this onto my problem area. And blend it evenly with the cushion puff. Then using Mercier to set everything in place. Now move on to the brows. I'm going to use the same Maybelline product. My brows have a slight arch, so I'm going to try my best to create a straight brow. For the transition shade, I'm using the same Bobbi Brown bronzer and apply this all over my lid. And then using NYX Ultimate Bright palette in this pink shade and apply onto my outer corner and my inner corners of my eye. Now I'm blending it out the harsh edges and connect the both corners. Then I'm using this shimmer, Brainiac, and apply this onto the center of my lid. I'm also going to apply the highlights onto my brow bone using Mary Luminizer. Then I'm going to highlight my inner corner. So now I'm going to apply the pink shade onto my lower lash. Then I'm using the same liner to tightline my waterline. Then I'm also going to curl my lashes. Curl it real hard. Apply some mascara onto your lashes. And going back to the same bronzer again, I'm going to apply this onto my cheekbones, my jawline, and a tiny bit onto my temples. And I'm also going to define my nose to make it appear more smaller. For blusher, I'm going to apply onto my apples of my cheek, then apply a lot of highlighter onto your highest points of your face. Finally, moving on to the lips, I'm using Pera Ink Velvet in the shade Coral Pink.
Ni 點解着我件衫啊？同埋我條頸鏈。